Okay, so I think I might be at the perfect time. I am recording on my phone there.
Yep.
You're recording
Yep.
there.
We're live here.
We're live there. So I wanted to bust out an old memory.
Okay.
I want you to close your eyes.
Oh, boy.
And
All right.
I just want to get your reaction to this.
Eyes closed.
All right, I'm going to set it on your lap and then you can just open your eyes.
Oh my God, dude. Is this yours though?
Yeah,
Like your
yeah.
personal, you ordered this.
I bought it. I looked at the receipt the other day. It was like November of 2016.
Jeez. You know, the most elusive one was the van one.
That was part of that. That was part of that, and I don't know what happened to that shirt.
Fuck, dude. That's the one where everyone's always like, remember you did that one thing with the mint van that like never happened again? Jeez, didn't even open the air freshener.
Didn't even open it. It sat in my closet for I don't know how many years, and I was just like,
man, I like
wow,
this.
I can't believe I still had that.
Yeah, this is fire, dude. That old school Haggard drip, what y'all know about that?
Welcome back to the Jake Kennedy Show. Today's special guest is Orion from Life OD. Orion, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm not bad. Michigan to Connecticut, man. It's honestly a similar vibe. Like Connecticut and Michigan both have like you said, like a fall, a winter, a nice summer, you know. But 10 hours. I stopped at Pennsylvania. Now I'm on my way. Now I'm here. So
Nice.
it's pretty good, man. Before we get started, just like always, I'm just going to say a quick prayer and then we'll go from there. Dear God, I thank you for this day. I thank you for this opportunity to be able to just speak with Orion here and talk about all of the car stuff that he's been involved with over the years. I thank you for his life and for putting him on this earth, God, and just the creativity and energy he brings to this space is awesome. So without further ado, I just ask for your blessing over this podcast. In Jesus' name, amen. So, Orion,
Yes.
talk to me about you. Before we get into the cars, before we get into all the cool stuff that you've done over the last couple of years, can we start with just like a 5 to 7, maybe 10-ish minute version of your life story?
Okay. I mean, in high school, early on, maybe I want to say freshman year, or maybe before that, like the summer of 8th grade to 9th grade, like switching from middle school to high school. Me, Rudnick, Kyle, a bunch of our BMX friends, we started a channel. The first channel we ever did was called Overflow BMX. And we were making BMX videos and like edits, skate edits, all that kind of stuff. That was like those videos are all still out there too. You could see literally we were kids, like 13 years old. And that's kind of where it started. It started for me because I was like geeky about the camera stuff. I liked the hardware. I'm like, yo, I have this camera. Like, let's go use it.
Yeah.
So naturally, that's why we started doing the BMX stuff. That's what we were doing anyway. So that snowballed into, I don't know how it happens, but every BMX kid ends up as a JDM drifter car guy.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't think there's any real rhyme or reason.
I was talking to you on the phone about it. I was like, Connecticut BMX car guys, like there's 4 of you powerhouses, like LZ, Jimmy Oaks, you, Rudnick. There's probably more that I don't.
Yeah, there's gotta be. There's gotta be so many
like
more.
What's in the water here in Connecticut? You know what I mean?
In the air, dude.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. But yeah, we went from the BMX. Then I was actually the first one in the group to get a car. I got the Miata. I was the first one in the area. Like at this time, we didn't know Jimmy. We didn't know Adam. We didn't know anyone. It was just me, Rudnick, Grillo, Kyle, AJ, like all the OG guys. And I got the Miata. I started drifting before YouTubing it.
Yeah.
Like my first event, I did record it, but it got like 30 views or whatever, you know? And then obviously since then, the video's been up for 13, 14 years now. It's probably people have like went back and tried to find it. That's probably why it's where it is now. Maybe it's got 10K views or something. So that snowballed into Haggard. That like my first drift event, that wasn't even Haggard yet. That was the channel I think was called, I think it was just my name, honestly, back then. Like the Life OD channel today I think it was just my name. Oh, it was called Garage Talk. That's what it was. It was called Garage Talk. Like we made that up in high school, just sitting in the computer lab or something. I don't know how that name spawned, but that's what the channel was called. And then the first video that ever went viral was the punk racer talks up his Evo. That was Kyle. Have you seen that one? It's like a yellow Evo or it's a Lancer with Lambo doors.
Oh.
And he's like walking around it, like pretending it's his, like talking hella shit.
No, I don't think so. I'll have to go back and
Yeah,
see.
it's hilarious, dude. And we're literally like 15, 16 years old. This is a couple years after the BMX phase. And
Right.
I already been through multiple cars. Like I had the Miata, sold that, bought an E36, sold that. I had a Forester, slammed it, wheels, did all that. This was all in high school still. And that snowballed into Haggard. Then Cam started coming around when it was me, Rudnick, Kyle, AJ kind of making videos at first. Cam came in a little bit after that. We knew like he was always our friend, but he was never into BMX, wasn't into cars. Like he was just kind of, the kid down the street, down the block kind of vibe.
Good pal.
Yeah, good pal,
Yeah.
exactly. But he wasn't really in on the car stuff. Like that was me, Rudnick, Marcus Parks, Kyle, AJ. We all got our cars. Like I was the first, and they shortly followed, maybe a couple months later. Because the moment I turned 16, I instantly got a job.
Okay.
Like so, because I wanted a car. I knew that watching the OG Ryan Turk videos, I was like, I want to go drifting. I know I want some JDM shit. This is what I want to do. So I was literally riding my bike to Goodwill for at least 6 months through the winter, through the rain. And Rudnick as well. He was riding his bike to Subway in another town, dude. He'd have to ride his bike like an hour to get to work. And we just were grinding and slaving. And he got his first car, I think, was a Civic, or he didn't have a Miata till a couple cars after. So, what after that?
No, I mean, that's like pretty amazing. I mean, I've watched, to set you up a little bit more here, I was in college when I found out about you guys. I don't know if it was like 2015, 2016. Like I graduated high school in 2015, and the Haggard Garage channel was, I think, already going by then.
What year were you born?
96.
Okay, so we're exactly the same age.
Oh, you're 29 as well.
I'm 96,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know why I thought you were 27.
No.
But either way, like 2016, I know for sure you guys were ripping. I was in college at that point, and to just have, I had this friend in college, if he's watching, Tyler, you're the man, dude. He had a 240. Well, he started with like a E46 with BBS rims, 19 by 9.5, like super stance boy. And then he went to an Acura RSX, I think, that K-Series motor. I started getting educated on like the different engines and like JDM versus Euro. And then he got a 240. And that was like, oh my gosh, he was the coolest guy in the world because he had a 240. And while I was like friends with him, you guys, I was like, just started coming into my feed, this Haggard Garage channel, as I'm looking at 240 stuff, Euro stuff. And you guys were like, to be able to live vicariously through the Haggard Garage channels, and you guys were all dudes the same age as me, without tons of money, just putting together builds, putting together your own stuff. Like even up until like when you guys were doing the tandem drifts with the Jenny, the 240, and maybe another 240 or something like that. You guys painted your own car. I thought that was sick. When you guys all painted your own cars, and it turned out great. Like at least
On
great
video,
enough. You know what I mean?
In person, they were ass.
Well,
they were terrible.
We were impressed. At least I was. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so to see you guys doing that, it literally just looked like the most fun thing in the world at the time.
Good. It was a good time for sure.
And so, like, I guess in that time frame, you went through a couple different cars, a couple different platforms. And I guess that can lead us into one of the questions on here is, what are some of your favorites that you've encountered along the way, and why?
I mean, there's really only one that stands out, is a S chassis. S13, S14, they just drive the best. In my opinion, some guys will probably argue that, like, oh, Corvette, fuck you. But, like, to me, the S chassis is just almost autopilot, dude. Like if you have full commitment, like the car drives itself, and it just makes for the smoothest driving, the best looking tandems. Every engine fits in it, every transmission, like infinite combos of like engine, transmission, differential, like angle kits, dual caliper, like every little millimeter of that car, there's an aftermarket like upgrade.
Yeah, people all the way up to FD down to, as far as your fleet of cars right now, you pulled up in the RAV.
Yeah.
You have a hybrid RAV.
I do.
And then you have a 240.
I don't.
That red 240? That's not yours?
What red 240?
I don't know if that was in your garage.
Oh,
or not.
yeah, that's Rudnick's.
Okay.
You'll see that later.
Okay. So that's his 240. You scrapped the Lexus.
No.
What was that on chat? I was literally watching the chat.
I was memeing that guy.
You were joking.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. I was like, you were like, I scrapped the Lexus. I'm glad I got $300 for it. I'm like,
dude, I'm over probably 4,000 alone into cage work, fabrication.
Yes.
Like, why? You know what I mean? That's so silly.
Dude, though I don't know. You sold me. I'm too gullible. Don't take advantage of me, man. That's like, that. I was like, you sold me. Like, you legitimately sold me. I was like, I can't believe that I'm hearing this. But, so we have the Lexus. We have the RAVs. Is there any other vehicles in your fleet right now?
I have 2 Camrys. I have a 97 V6 gold badge, dude. Confetti stitched interior, wood grain, fire, mint condition.
Did you hear that? The way you just sold that to me, I was like, ooh, confetti stitched.
Yeah, it's going to be a collector item in less than 10 years. Like if they start banning the sale of gas-powered vehicles, it will triple, quadruple in value for sure. And I also have a 2002 Camry.
You talk a lot about the Camrys. Like I like this too. Like you'll talk about just like general, like decent buys these days. Like a hybrid Camry is like, if you can, I mean, used ones for sure, you can get in the 20s. It's like a late teens, early 2020s. Do you have like a certain brand did you grow up? Like I'm from Detroit, well, Metro Detroit. And it's like, I used to think if it's not a GM, it's not a car. You know what I mean? Like, did you grow up in a family with any sort of leanings in the automotive industry?
No, not at all, actually. I've had, like, my mom had a Subaru Forester. She bought it brand new, I think, in, like, 2010. And a couple years later, grenaded the motor. Like, bone stock. So, right, like, as a young kid, I'm like, never, ever buy a Subaru.
Ooh.
Like, right off the rip. Then she had a Honda Accord. Totaled that by accident in some, like, hit a deer or something, obliterated it.
Okay.
So it was a mix match of like random brands and random cars. There was never a brand loyalty. I stumbled upon Toyota myself.
Ooh. Okay. And is like your first car, like did you ever daily a drifter? Like, was there a point where like you didn't have like a Camry, so you just drove the Miata, or like did you always have like something as like a Camry?
No.
And
my first couple cars, the Miata and the E36, I had to daily. Full like welded diff, terrible to drive, like girlfriend pissed, no heat, no AC. Yeah.
How was that in Connecticut? Because if you're in Arizona, you're in Florida, you're in somewhere with a climate that's just a little bit nicer than Michigan or Connecticut. Like, it's a lot more reasonable, but
it sucked.
Like,
you're carrying a scraper, dude, every morning, scraping the windshield, get halfway to school, have to get out, scrape the windshield again.
Yeah.
Like, you're breathing in it, it's getting fogged out, you're rubbing your whole arm on the windshield. Yeah, it sucked, but I was broke. I was 16 and knew that that's what I wanted, and
you were committed.
Dude, full commit, and I guess it worked.
And that's why, dude, that's why I'm here, honestly. Like, to again, meet you in person and to, like, just, like, have this day. I'm gonna, I look at myself, I was gonna say this. Different YouTubers, right, they'll put stuff out, and some of it's more relatable than others. Adam LZ buying like a $15,000 conversion kit for his Lamborghini is kind of unrelatable for a lot of people. Like, to make that thing rear-wheel drive, and it's like, oh wow, I'd be stoked just to have $15,000 to spend on a car, and so like we'll touch on it later when we maybe go through some of this stuff. And if you do research over time, I think a lot of people conclude that 350Zs or E36s are probably your top two best bets right now, maybe, for getting into a drift car that has availability of parts and things like that.
I beg to differ.
You
slightly.
can agree to disagree,
Yeah.
and I'd want to hear that. But just to say that, like, I mean, I look at myself. I'm looking at Facebook Marketplace all the time, and I'm like, what is some availability is a big thing. So it's like, what's available? What can you get? How much investment are you going to have to set aside to start off with a decent, fun? Because I think one of the things I like about you too is like, you're not a huge, like, I don't want to have some super sticky, you're pretty deep in the Hagnar NASCAR right now, but like, you like ease of use, you like things to be reliable, not you with your, let's talk about the Lexus a little bit, the Hagnar NASCAR used to be the drift taxi. You were talking about your power figures you're aiming for the other day, and like, you want things to, like, to chase 1,000 wheel horsepower, you might run into certain issues, right? Versus like keeping things within a reasonable range. Would you talk a little about that and just a little about like maybe the ownership process?
Yeah, so Dan, he's like our master fab guy, engine builder. He's
How
kind
long
of
have you
done it
known
all.
Dan?
Oh man, before Haggard too. Like I bought my Miata.
Yeah.
And we were like going down the highway. He was in his Miata, dude. I was like 16. He was probably 20. And he like passed me doing like 120. Dude, he was topped out in this thing. And I was in mine. So I'm like trying to catch back up to him. And we like intercept him. Like we get off the same exit. We're like, yo, like, what's up? Sick Miata. He's like, yeah, you too. Like, here's my number. Like, let's like weld your diff or some shit.
Yeah.
So that's how we met Dan. So it's been a long time that I've known Dan. And he, like, over the years, he's worked on many, 7-second cars. Like, he's thrown together 1,500 horsepower engines. Like, he's done a little bit of everything: drag, drift, time attack, road course racing. So that's why I trust him with any sort of question on the matter.
Talking about drift versus time attack, you've kind of said that you want to go from being like in the drift side more to the time attack side. Was there an experience you had that sort of inspired that, or like what made you want to do that?
I've done a couple time attacks. The first one I ever did, I got second place, by the way. So that was like random, but
What car were you in?
S14 with an eBay turbo, no tune. It was breaking up, and I'm like having to go against like 500 horsepower like Evos and shit. Still got second, so it was cool.
That's cool.
It was a cool experience, but for me, the driving, like I liked drifting and stuff, and it was like the adrenaline high and like kind of chasing that whole like dopamine rush, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Like it became the drug.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, time attack gives you the same exact adrenaline high, the same exact dopamine hit, but is a tenth of the price. So like, you imagine pulling up to some drift event with 600 horsepower. You're spending $1,000 in tires that day.
Yeah.
I can pull up to some time attack where the track allows for 160 mile per hour speed. So I'm now shitting my pants doing 160.
Yeah.
And I drove there. I'm going to drive all day, and I'm going to drive home on the same set of tires for $200 or whatever
kidding.
the ticket costs to get in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
That's
a
awesome.
little bit of, bit of insight as to why.
Like autocross, I have friends who have Miatas that they built specifically. I know there's classifications.
Yeah.
To do things. Maybe one of the questions I'll ask in like horsepower terms for someone who wants a car that gives them the fun they're looking for. Like some people say, anything over 200 horsepower is ideal for drifting. You can put down some serious stuff with 300 and be fine.
Yeah.
Do you have any rule of thumb on that, or do you think that, like, because you ripped an NA Miata before?
Yeah, and it sucked.
It sucked.
Not good.
Not good.
It's not good to drift. It's not good to time attack. It's not good to autocross. It's just a good starter. Like, learn the chassis. If you can master that car, the next car you buy, you will be God level off rip. You know what I mean? Like, It's such a shit car to drive that I'd rather have a Mustang or something for sure.
And we're going to talk about that too, because you had the V6 Mustang for a short minute, and the Mustang.
Yeah.
V6 Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about what that was like, because I was stoked, man. I was like, he's got a V6 Mustang. That is you said it in your video, a modern day 240. Like they're everywhere. You can get them for
Dumb
$1,000,
cheap.
$2,000.
Yep.
Be good to go. What happened?
I got it, and at this time I lived in Maine. I had the cabin in the woods. It was not a feasible thing for me to bring it to Connecticut every time, right? Do an 8-hour drive just to go to a drift event. So I built it as like a parking lot warrior, basically. Any rainy day, I'm just out ripping through town, any open parking lot. V6, 5-speed, mini spool rear, stock suspension, no handbrake, stock angle, or a stock knuckle, no mods to the suspension whatsoever. And I thought it was great, to be honest with you.
And it ripped.
I would say it ripped, yes.
Okay. Because, yeah, I mean, the V6 in those, I don't have the numbers right in front of me. I think they say 190
Yeah, it's
horsepower or
terrible.
something
It's
like
not
that.
good.
But it's big, and, like, you said it feels okay. I feel like it's going to be all right when you're driving it. I was like, okay, well.
It's like, I'd say it's pretty comparable to like a stock IS300.
Okay.
Like a 350Z probably has a little more snot, but
Ooh.
like the IS300, you can get them stock manual, NA2J, right? They make 190 wheel or whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought that's kind of a good comparison.
Sure. In regards to the 350Z, did you ever feel like the power band was like very in the middle? Because when I drove one, I was looking at buying one, and I was just like, man, it's kind of dead down low. But then it like came on, I guess, a little bit like later. Did you like, as far as power goes, because you said earlier too with like an S chassis, you can throw any motor in there. Your car has a 2J. Is there like, I guess I was just curious if you had experienced that in the VQ series at all.
I've never driven one like competitively. I've just farted around the street, like the
Okay.
compound in Florida, do a couple laps out there. I personally don't like it. I was at Mark Hedges had a birthday bash. He has a G35 or whatever with a VQ. He popped it in 3 laps. Some guy let me drive his VQ. I popped it in 3 laps. I just think they're junk. They're either super good until they're not, or they're just junk.
Okay.
Like no one is stoked about a VQ.
So tell me then, when you were saying a second ago that, because in my eyes, and I think a lot of people who do a lot of research would say like, oh, so like, because there's YouTubers who say, I think the best platform to get started on is the 350Z, and you beg to differ.
I just think it's overpriced for what you're getting. I think they cost too much, especially if you want a stock manual that's not rotted with a good healthy VQ. What are they, 10 grand now? 12,000?
There's one I'm looking at a dealership. It's $7,000 and it's got 173,000 miles.
Could be a time bomb. I watched Rudnick struggle with his. He had wiring issues, coil pack problems, misfiring. His VQ sucked. Theo's had a little bit of weird issues with his. Like I don't know a single person that's had a good time with it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so like in comparison, I guess, to an E36, like Chelsea DeNofa's huge on E36s. Do you think that they're better than I know you got M3s, 328i's. He says 328i is where you'd want to start just because it's a slightly bigger literage.
Mm-hmm.
If you start there what was your E36?
It was a 328.
It was a 328.
Yeah.
How was it?
I thought it was underwhelming. It was not a VQ rips way harder than that.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah.
I love the look of an E36.
They're okay. I'm not a huge fan, but of all of the BMW chassis, it's up there as like one of my favorites for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm feeling the itch. I want to just go ahead and grab this here because like we're talking about different chassis, we're talking about different cars, and you know, I want us to start at least jotting down some of. Here's a marker for you. Throw some other colors on the couch just in case. But so let's review. You have had what year was the Miata that you had?
I've had multiple. I had an 89, I had a 90. They were all 1.6 cars of every year. So like I had my first one was an 89, technically open the door production date 89, but it was sold as a 1990. So
And I mean, that's the only Mazda car that is even worth mentioning. I guess in terms of like, I mean, people have RX-7s, but like,
I owned an FD for like a month.
really,
Yeah.
how was it? It was a rotary.
It was a
wasn't, like,
rotary.
engine swapped or
No,
anything.
bone stock rotary. It was a giveaway car we bought to do the giveaway, but I fucking ripped it around for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's underwhelming as well.
Was it healthy? Was it like? Did it give
It
you
felt
guys any-
okay.
Okay.
It felt fine. But I don't know. I don't have a baseline to go off
Yeah.
of like what is an actual healthy version.
And then you said your E36 was a 328i
Correct. I also had a LS swapped one.
and an LS swapped one.
Yeah.
What? So
Yeah.
that's a different. That's a whole different.
Yeah,
like,
not
did you
even comparable.
In my eyes, like before you say anything else, an E36 LS swap is like, oh gosh, if I had an E36 LS swap, how was it?
Mid. I just got the V8 sound. Like, I'm gonna get torched for this. I don't like the sound. I
Of
like
a
the
V8?
reliability. Yeah,
Yeah.
turbo 6-cylinder all day, every day. I'd rather have an M50. I'd rather have a E36 325 turbo with the 328 trans.
Now, talk about that for a split second, because I've looked into properly turboing an E36, and I mean, you've done it
I've done it improperly many times.
improperly many times. It looks like you're going to spend like the same amount you would to buy an LS engine and all the stuff to swap it in. So
Yeah. Most
properly,
likely. Yeah.
again.
The most expensive parts are ECU, right? If you don't have a hookup, that's $5,000. Just pissed to the wind on just the computer for the car. Yeah, like how I don't know what the modern stuff is going for nowadays, but if you want the ECU, wiring specialties harness, every sensor you need to properly run it, that's probably at least $5,000 in just computer work.
yeah. And I forget who it is, but there was a company that sells like a whole kit, and it's like $9,000.
Yeah,
And
it's not
like,
cheap.
yeah, at that point, you might as well just look at either a bigger like a car that has an engine that you just like or want. And if you don't mind an LS, swapped whatever, or LS engine, or whatever engine that produces more power. I guess it's all about what you like, though. And you are a fan of turbo well, I'll just say 6.
Turbo inline 6, V6 junk.
Okay.
Inline 6 only. Every single one is cool though to me. M50 turbo sick. 1J sick. 2J sick. B58 sick.
Do you have like I kind of think that's cool. Like, you have like a favorite style motor, and then is there one that takes the cake for you, or is it
Yeah. 1J for sure.
the 1J?
It's the
not
best
the 2J.
sounding engine ever created, in my opinion, obviously.
Is it any more or less temperamental than a 2J? Because the
you,
2J is like the big dog. They talk about
Yeah.
the 2J, and like people run it in FD, and it's cool. But
if you abuse it, yeah, temperamental for sure.
okay.
But think of how many Toyotas came stock with that.
I want
Every
you to say this.
Chaser, yeah, like JZX90, JZX100, hella cars are just stock, like a stock daily with a turbo 1J from factory. Sick.
Is that the motor in the Drift Hagnar NASCAR right now?
No,
or
that's
is
a 2J.
It is a 2J.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, like, nonetheless, I was just curious about that. I want you to talk about the Jenny, because you made I worked at Hyundai. I was in sales at a Hyundai, and it was like, when you're trying to find, things to connect to or relate to a brand or a new company that you're working for, it's like, again, that Jenny, which Adam LZ had his hands on at one time.
It was a Drift HQ rental for like maybe 6 months before Rudnick bought it to do the reunion thing.
Genesis Coupe.
Yep.
And those came equipped
Yeah.
with the motor from the Santa Fe's at the time. I think it was like a 3.6 liter something.
It was a 3.8.
A 3.8?
Yeah, but mine came stock with the Turbo 4,
Okay.
and I grenaded it.
Oh.
Super unreliable.
So you grenaded a Turbo 4. Did
Swapped in the V6.
you swapped in the V6?
Yeah.
And was that all on the Haggard channel, or was that?
Yeah, well, I actually, SFR Tuning,
Mm-hmm.
he's like actually a true Korean guy that specializes in the Hyundai stuff.
Yeah.
He had access to like their the dealer's back end and all this crazy shit, dude. His tuning computer, like he took my ECU out. He had like it looked like a drill press with like 15 gold, like microscopic teeth.
Jeez.
Like he literally was like going crazy with these stock ECUs. So I just had him do the whole thing because he was just the knowledgeable guy.
Was there an inspiration to go here? Because, I mean, I feel like you were the first one to even go there.
Cheap.
Just cheap.
At that time, yeah.
What do you know roughly what, and this was years ago, but
Yeah.
do you know how much what year was yours?
I bought it in 2016, I believe, and it was a 13.
13.
So a very new chassis.
Still, right. Still
Yes.
had some life. Still was pretty fresh car.
Yeah, fresh car.
It was cheap.
Yeah, I paid $12,000 for it right out of the dealer.
I'm going to put 2013 so we know. And it was 12.
12 G's, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say about it? I mean, I feel like it was like, again, at the time, no, like I don't think I found anybody or saw anybody drifting that car, and I was just like, man, he's going there. He's going, like, you know, you didn't care. Was there a time where you were like mentally like, I'm going to find the best car. Like, I'm going to find whatever the best chassis is and rip it.
No.
Like, was that not it?
That's never been a concern. From day one, it's been how cheap can we do this? That's the first criteria is price, everything. Like, how much is the car? How much are the parts? How much tire am I going to cook? So from the get-go, price was the number one concern, no matter what, before clout and anything else.
Okay.
So the Jenny, just right place, right time. My credit was good.
Yeah.
I walked in. I think I put like $3,000 down.
Yeah.
And my payment was a couple $100 a month.
There you go.
So I was like, oh, this is sick, dude.
Yeah.
It drove okay. It drove good, but it was very limiting.
And you dailied that for a little bit?
I did, yeah. But you could never keep up with an LS car, 2J car. It just was like more powerful, more peppy than a Miata and like a E36. But like I started wanting to drive A-Class with like LS swapped S14s, 2J this, 1J that, and they're just walking away, dude. That car, it had like an awkward gear ratio where you either smoking limiter in second or unusable bog in third. There was no happy middle. It was second, too much limiter, third, undrivable.
Man. I mean,
So it was very limiting.
remember the giveaway on that too.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, like I thought that was a pretty cool car at the time. And I have no experience with them, but I was just like, okay, like I consider it revolutionary at the time. I was just blown away. But no, that was cool. I want to take a quick side note and ask you, because again, I've kind of exposed, I think E36s look really good. Do you have a platform or an affinity towards a certain looks wise, not engine, not anything else? Like, is there like without you saying you like McLarens, even if you do, like,
any car, like, or drift
like
specific,
like looks, like if looks were the priority, which I am finding out they've never been the thing that you've cared about. You never cared about stanced out, looking like the coolest guy on the block.
I did that once, and it was sick.
On what car?
On an S13.
Ooh.
LS swapped, 3-piece wheels, big over fenders. It was fire, dude. That shit was hot.
I feel like I'm sort of in that, like if I were to get a car, I would kind of want it to be nice for a while before I just say, to heck with it, we're going to rip this thing like crazy. So looks wise, is there a company or like a
Yeah, there's one that stands out.
that comes to mind? What is it?
Yeah, it's a S15.
An S15.
Yes.
So like the latest or the last iteration
like
of
Mona Lisa from Tokyo Drift.
Are they the best?
Depends. I mean, stock, hell no. If you want to throw 50 G's at it, then you want to do a 2J, a sequential, a Winters.
Did they come with KAs towards the end? No.
Everyone was SR. You either got a NA SR or a Turbo SR.
Jimmy
like
just
every
did a
variation.
giveaway of his kooky S14, I think, and that had a turbo KA. I've heard some people say that that's like the truth. If you were to like keep a stock motor in an S chassis and rip it, is there a motor in there? Like I've heard SR20s can be temperamental. Like is there a motor in the family of S series or S chassis that you would go for first?
I trust the KA over an SR. Every single person I know from the dawn of time. Some people swear by it, but they won't tell you they went through 3 motors, blew a head gasket. They're just like, best motor ever, dude. Sick.
Yeah.
Been through 7 rebuilds.
Yeah.
I trust the KA more
Yeah.
than I trust the SR.
That's what my buddy's S13 was. And I was like, he was able to rip it. Like, it wasn't turboed or anything. He was able to get sideways pretty easily. Do you know what the power figures are?
Oh, stock is horrible, dude. 130 wheel, 140 wheel. It's got to be awful. Like Miata equal.
Do you think, since you've ripped a Miata, does it feel like gutsier than a Miata?
On the low end, sure,
Yeah.
but top end for top end, both bad, except the 240 will drive better, in my opinion, for drift specifically.
Yeah.
Longer wheelbase, better angle kits, better suspension geometry, whatever the case may be. I've driven both.
Do you mess around at all, or did you ever get to the point where you were getting down to the specifics of the PSI and the tires on like track days and things like that?
Definitely.
Because it's crazy. It's like 9 PSI. We're going to run 9 PSI in these smoke show cars with nutso power figures.
Yeah, 1,000 wheel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever, like, what was that like? What was that, like, did you...
There was a turning point where I had to care about that. So before, like during the Haggard phase, never crossed my mind. I'm going to the junkyard. I'm grabbing Lucy's tires that are already smoked, and it just didn't matter. I wanted to get to the track no matter what.
Yeah.
Then I tried the Pro-Am stuff to compete, and I remember it was one battle where I had not played around with PSI yet. And I think like whatever the bead blaster set him to, 40 or something, 45 PSI. And dude, the car drove like I was on ice. And I was like telling my crew chief at the time, I'm like, dude, this car, like I'm getting walked on by like some car with half the power. And he's like, what's your PSI? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, let me check. 45, like pulls a little gauge out of his pocket. And he put him down to like 20, cut it in half. And she had some giddy up after that. I was like, okay, damn. That's
more
like
grip.
Yeah. That's like a real thing now that I have to pay attention to.
People, and that's when I do watch the LZ videos, they'll like, cause it's funny for me because I'm sitting there watching them in these tens of thousands of dollars worth of car, and they're like, it's pretty good. I think that the whatever could be a little lower though, or like I think you could like work on your tire setup to get a different, like a little bit more grip out of it. And I'm just thinking, man, like if I had a car with 1,000 horsepower, I'd like to think I could get it sideways and do whatever I needed to do. But every little edge, every little competitive edge to take you to that next level or to like get you chasing cars in a tighter, because that's FD. FD is it's a competition. Did you ever consider going to FD, or did you like, was that like, did you just like not really care at all, or were you
I wanted to do it originally. I did Pro-Am. I got my FD license, and the day I got it, I quit. I'm like, this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's cost too much. The channel, I was filming it, getting good views, like 200K views on I won round 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just was a fat L, dude, like financially speaking.
Yeah. They talk about it even for the guys that are pro. Chelsea DeNofa has talked about, like, even if you are him or you are, I don't know, some of these guys, it's just to go out, compete, set up, tear down, do everything you have to do in order to put the thing together. It's like you might, like, the sponsorships aren't there yet. A lot of stuff isn't there. The sport of FD, Formula Drifting, is not to the point yet where guys can just sustain.
Yeah, it's not.
The lifestyle without, unless you're LZ or someone who has all those connections and stuff like that, and then that's your life. Like that is it. And if you have any other side hobbies, they're gone. Like one thing I want to write a book one day about hobbies. Okay, and like the cost financially, mentally, all that stuff. And you buy a guitar, it's done. Like you bought it. I guess you could take out payments on like a really expensive one, but like even like a couple $100 will buy you a nice guitar and it's done. Guns, for instance, you buy a gun, you can go to the range with it. You might have to buy ammo. And then again, inversely, like you might have to buy strings for a guitar if you want. You don't even have to. And then you get to drifting or you get to cars. And oh my gosh, it's like you're talking gas, you're talking any upgrade. It's like, so an upgrade, if I want a new barrel for my Glock, like I can get one for $80 and it's pretty good. I can get them real cheap on AIM Surplus for $20 sometimes, and you're not going to notice the difference really. And then you want to get a short throw shifter for your 350Z. $200 or three something like that. Easy. You want to get a chair or a seat and mount it properly. Like you're talking hundreds, not tens of
Yeah.
whatever.
It is a money pit hobby.
But we love it.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, man. No kidding. We'll I guess fill out this list. So like in the Nissan Infinity category, your experience, your cars that you've had.
I've
Here,
had
you've had the
S13,
S13.
S14. I've had multiple of each, by the way. I've had stock NAKAs. I've had turbo KAs. I've had LS swaps. I've been involved with each iteration. Other than an S15, the only one I haven't had. They cost too much for what you're getting. I can't bring myself to it.
I hear you. Was there ever a time where you messed with the 350s or like owned one specifically, or what? Does Nissan have anything else that I can't think of, or like I know the G35 is just the Nissan 350Z.
Yeah, I think that might be it. I'm
Okay.
trying to think. Nissan had maybe a Safiro or like one of those oddball like import ones.
Okay.
A Laurel.
Okay. So S13, S14 there.
Yeah.
We go to Lexus, Toyota. Just before, because you haven't owned an FRS or a G8.
No, I've driven a few though.
I've heard their rear suspension setups don't lend themselves well to drifting. Like, do you have an opinion on that car? I mean, it's unfortunate it comes with that Subaru engine.
I drove a BRZ with
Yeah.
the stock engine with, I believe, I don't quote me on it, maybe it was like a PBM kit or something on the front.
Okay.
And I loved it. I thought it was great.
Okay. And that was before, like, because I know 2023, they got a little bit of a power increase. That was before 2023.
I think the car was a 13
Okay.
or 14, first gen.
Yes.
And I went to OSW in Florida, and his name is Ambush Drift. He let me drive his. Stock engine, non-turbo, maybe an angle kit. Fully gutted, though, so he might have been, 200 pounds lighter than stock. And I thought it drove really good for what it was. It had good power, I thought. You could throw that thing, dude. It was nice.
And it was not turboed or anything like that. It was just the stock motor.
NA,
Did he
yeah.
talk at all about like how temperamental, or like did he just like say you put oil in it, you're good? Like was it like
He didn't mention that it was any temperamental, but he also, I believe, had a LS S13 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he didn't drive it enough to break it.
okay?
Maybe of something like that.
I think Jimmy Oaks Daly's a BRZ. He's got a Skyline too now. That's kind of cool. But in terms of Lexus Toyota right now, you have what is the nomenclature? What's the name of your car before the Hagnar?
GS300.
GS300
Yeah.
with the 2J.
Yeah.
Any others in the Toyota Lexus category that are drifters that you have experience with?
No, other than I've driven, or I didn't drive it, but I got to ride in Rudnick's JZX90. That's a Toyota, and that thing was sick.
Is that the one he's building to try and get that 1,000 horsepower right now?
Yeah, I think it was like 500 wheel with the 1J in it.
Does he plan to go FD with that, or is he?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, if some sponsor pays for it all, I'm sure he'd be down to at least try, but he's not made it. He's never said out loud, I am going to spend my ad rev chasing FD.
Okay.
He's never said that to me.
Do you know, like in terms of competitions that people go to, like, is there any name brand competitions that happen every year? I've heard names. I don't know any of the rankings, or if they're considered pro, or if these are just amateur events that they're holding for the public. Lock City Drift. Is there one specific to Connecticut or East Coast that everybody does?
Lock City, they have a street series, but you're limited 235 tire. You have to have a full interior.
Cage.
No, you don't even need a cage.
Okay.
But if you show up with 1,000 wheel, you're a chotch. Like you're stuck on a 235 tire. You're gonna just cloud it out, and some Miata's gonna get your door.
Yeah.
So it's like they try to keep it fair in that regard. Limit on the tire.
Is that like pro, or is
No,
that just
that's anyone can join.
okay?
There's no, and if you win, it's like $1,000. Like you don't get a FD license, you don't get anything from winning.
Okay. Do you like that? Do you like that it's kind of like for everybody like that, or do you like
I've never driven there, and
Kinda
I
indifferent.
wouldn't do it. Yeah, I just wouldn't compete.
H2O is one that pops up on my feed. Do you like the drift, or do you plan on going to any sort of like stance scene events this year, or like I think that's what that's for,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
H2O.
H2O is all stance.
Okay.
Like bagged
Is that in
Jettas.
Connecticut, or where is
No, I
that?
think that's in Ocean City,
Where's that?
Maryland. I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never done any of that.
Okay. No,
I
that's
don't-
fine.
Yeah, I only go places where I drive.
Yeah. That's fair. No, that's fine. Now, Subarus, you said you had a Forester.
I did, yeah.
You want to write Forester on there?
Oh boy. Yikes.
That's okay. That's just the same thing as me, pretty much. But I mean, I know that's not maybe considered a drift car, but we're in Connecticut, Michigan. You know,
Yeah.
these kinds of cars, even that Rav4, it has a locking diff. You
It
know what I
does.
mean?
It's
It's
nice.
like if you wanted to daily something like a Forester or a Rav, like everybody who's anybody who likes drifting is going to think, well, maybe for my next car, even if it was just an all-wheel drive like CX-30, I like the Mazda CX-30. I'm going to out myself right now. I worked at Mazda after I worked at Hyundai, and I just like that car. Don't ask me why. It's just like you get all of the best features of Mazda in that car, and I like it. But yeah, anybody who has an all-wheel drive, just wants to have a little fun, figure out how to put it in first gear, turn off traction control, rip a couple. And is the Forester the only Subaru that you have experience with, or like do you ever mess with WRXs?
Oh yeah, I had a Bug-Eye WRX. It was pretty cool.
Let's see if I can get that WRX on there. Bug eyes are the best. I don't care. They looks wise, I think they're the coolest, and then I think they're all pretty temperamental to the point where like you're getting in the same boat in terms of reliability, short of buying a brand new one. Is that right? Or fair?
Mine was reliable. I dailied it for maybe 6 months when I lived in Florida, and I beat the piss out of that thing. I jumped it, I rallied it, did donuts in the dirt, in the sand, took it mudding. I did everything with that thing.
And is that more fun than like setting out? Because I'm even for myself right now, if I were to look at this list when we're done and say, what's the best bang for buck, most fun car I can get into that's gonna feed all the way down to like you saying like you're not as much of like you're into time attack now. I think that's cool. Is it a fun or these types of concepts of like going in all-wheel drive, funsy onesie car on the same level of fun as owning something like a little E36 that you just take like it's like a second car. It's like it's a project car. It's a fun car.
Yeah.
Like what would you say in terms of fun level the experience with that kind of a vehicle is like?
Not
Not as
in like where I live in Connecticut. There's nowhere to have fun like that with that car.
Do you want to do like would doing a dirt rally be something you'd be interested
Hell
in?
no.
No?
Hell no. Those are the
Like mixed
biggest
road
balls
courses or anything?
drivers on the planet, dude.
The biggest what?
Balls.
Oh,
Like to do rally
yeah.
is next level. You have to like not care about dying, I feel like. Like that's not even a concern.
You watch the bystanders get out in the road and
Yeah,
come on,
I
man,
just-
come
I
on,
can't
and you're
do
like,
it.
you should probably not be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I don't have enough balls.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And that's it as far as like the Subaru side that we've.
Yeah, I've only had a Forester and I had a Bug-Eye.
Okay, go ahead and write the Stang on there for me. The Stang, and that was a V6 like 99 to 04. I think do they call those SN95 chassis?
The one I had is called a New Edge.
A New Edge.
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of talked about it already, but like your experience with that, did you ever mess in or think about getting a V8 or doing V8 Mustang stuff or looked into
I've
it?
talked about it with Rudnick, and it was like we were trying to think of like some like series, like how you're saying, what's the best car to get into in 2026 or whatever. And I hypothesized the build that he actually kind of liked. I found a running, driving, clean title V8 SN95 convertible, 5-speed manual with the soft top was shot.
Yeah.
Like wouldn't seal, it's going to get moldy outside kind of thing. Ran and drove mint, clean title. I think the guy wanted $1,800. You're getting the 5-liter V8, you're getting a manual, weld the diff, cut the knuckles, you have a full drift car for under $2,000. You just you're going to have a demented soft top.
And scene wise, if you don't care about like JDM versus Euro or looks or like, because like American cars are considered like the uncool or like your dad, especially living in Detroit-ish area. Like Corvettes, Mustangs, you can go on Facebook Marketplace in the Detroit metro area and find a New Edge Mustang that a guy has babied or put probably tens, if not, maybe $20,000 worth of work into, and he's just trying to get his money back on it for like 9 or 10 grand.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, shoot, I mean, this thing's got a lot of work done and it looks pretty nice. Like, you could get into it if you were cool with like it being a Mustang. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're cool now. They make like super Japan themed body kits for them, and they look sick when you do them like that.
Yeah. No, that's pretty fair. I mean, like, I know like the generation after that, getting into like the later generations, I don't even know what they're called.
I don't know either.
Yeah. I was like, okay, we won't even go there.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about those.
But moving, unless there's no other Mustangs.
That's the only Mustang I've ever owned.
Yeah, and that V6, yeah, you paid like $1,700 for it or something like that, right?
And it was just a street rig, dude. Like I'd never even registered or insured it. Only drove it on rainy days. Like didn't even have to put tires on it, really. Just parking lot warrior, dude.
Heck yeah.
Scratch the itch.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna go down to Daddy's favorite. I grew up, my dad works for, he still works for GM. If you want to write Corvette for me there, I mean, you've never owned one.
No.
You've never drifted one?
No.
Never, I mean, you've had experience, was it an LS1 or an LS3 or like?
I got the only Corvette experience I've ever had. Taylor Ray had a C5 manual LS1 cut knuckles on a huge tire, like a 285, and that thing was sick.
Yeah.
It ripped, dude. It like mid-corner while drifting, you're getting pulled to the seat still.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool. I wouldn't do one myself.
You did a ride along or you
Just a ride.
Okay.
Just one lap he gave me.
Where's he at these days?
I think in Orlando.
Okay.
I think.
So he's still in Florida.
I believe so.
Okay. Because I know like team members come and go and like you see certain people, like I don't know who it was, but it was like there's a kind of bigger like black dude. They're all at the LZ compound and they were part of different like organizations for a minute, but like now they're all at Drift HQ, or like if Drift HQ and him are like just teamed up down there and they share a space and things, because they have like separate YouTube channels still, but just share that compound down there. No, that's cool. But I mean, in terms of GMs, like, I mean, there's Camaros, there's Corvettes.
Yeah.
The trucks. I mean, you had a Ford? Did you have a dually?
I did, yeah.
You had the Ford Econo van, or like
I've actually had a lot of vehicles like that, like tow vehicles.
Yes.
I've had multiple dualies.
Did
multiple diesels.
In your research of like, so we're talking Duramax versus Power Stroke. I mean, it's worth mentioning Chrysler, I suppose, since we're on the subject of like diesel and Cummins and trucks. You know, one of the setups I was going to do on this board was just kind of like if you could have one car from each car company, each manufacturer, like what you think their best product is. Short, like the drifting thing aside, again, the Camaros, the Corvettes, they're cool. I mean, like my dad, his generation obviously owned a ton of those. You could probably find them fairly. I feel like C5 prices are starting to come down. Like I used to see C5s well into the 20s. Nowadays, I've seen some high mileage, like 200,000 miles maybe, but 12 grand.
You could get one with like a slipping auto for like 8. Clean
But
title.
why would you want a slipping auto? Why would
You just put your own trans in it. T56. You want to go crazy, put a dog box in it. Like that's just your cheap foot in the door. As long as the motor's good. Now you have a LS.
And this is why you're like, because I have zero, I don't want to say zero, but I am not like linked up enough or invested at all in the scene to even think like that. Like, oh gosh, like I could just get this $8,000 Corvette, throw a T56 in it, I got you're linked up. You have a team that you're working with right now with Rudnick. So like it's still, and this might segue us nicely into the next question of kind of what you consider to be your main focus right now with your content and what you're putting out. You talk about GTA 6 a lot and how that's going to be maybe the best game in gaming history.
For sure. 100%.
And it's a lofty goal. I think anybody would sit in, from the outsider looking in perspective, like, okay, buddy. Like,
I mean,
best
GTA
game.
5 topped all the charts. I think GTA 6 is going to be the most purchased video game of any game ever, the most online active players at any given moment. I think it's going to be king of all these criterias.
And it's only going to be on console at first, right?
Yeah, for the first year.
It's not going to be PC for the first year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But look at GTA 5. We're on year 13 or 14, and it still has a crazy active player base.
And they do the updates. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like once you beat the campaign, you go to multiplayer, and then they create these missions for you to do, which I didn't dabble in, but like it seems like you said a lot of people still keep up with.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like, was that of the games you've streamed the most or played? Is that like you're probably got the most hours in, or
most hours of playtime? Yeah, but most viewers on a live and most active chat was Minecraft.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
Minecraft is a good one for me too.
So I'll ask the question, and then maybe we'll close on like what we think. I already think I kind of know what you would say in terms of like S tier, at least what your favorite would be. But in terms of your content right now, is gaming and streaming gaming kind of the main focus, and car stuff is kind of on the side, or is it still car stuff, or is it a mix of the two? Like, what would you say about that?
Probably a little bit of a mix. I'll use the gaming and the streaming to fund the car stuff.
Okay.
Is pretty much what I'm doing now. I mean, you were in the live earlier. You saw people are dropping gifted subs for me to go buy valve springs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at now. But definitely,
Kyle Means, shut up, Kyle.
Kyle
Means, he's
Means,
throwing
dude.
in major
Oh, yeah.
donos when you were getting what was that $800 part you had to get to convert was it the temp or the stats temperature thing? It was like there was some sort of part, and it was like $800, and I remember like that was the thing. Now we're on these valve springs or these seals or cam or piston.
I need rings. I need rings and bearings still.
And he was massive throwing in the chat.
Yeah.
But real quick then. So we have the Mazda, we have the Miata. For an old fella looking at getting into a car for funsy onesies, what would you give that as a ranking? S tier being, the sauce. A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier.
D for sure.
Going D tier on
Yeah,
the
100%.
Mazda.
Yeah, not it. They don't make a single product that I would put in S tier.
I drove the brand new one. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of like for 40 grand or
Well,
like
I thought we're
30
talking drift.
No,
drift levels.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying like it stinks because when I go to drive other cars now, it's like that was the car that I had the most experience in is the brand new ND3 Miata, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great car. I don't want to spend, even if you got a used one, they hold value like crazy.
Yeah, they're good.
They hold value like crazy, but in terms of a drift platform, I mean, you have tons of aftermarket availability, but in terms of just like a starting funsy onesie,
Not it.
not it.
You will be highly disappointed with your purchase.
Okay. Then moving on to not to dog anybody, if you have a Miata, like,
I'm sorry. I've owned like 3, 4, 5 of them now, and
Right.
they're shite.
sure,
They suck.
sure. Moving into the E36 and BMW, and I mean, we didn't really go into like, I forget the names of the latest generations of them and stuff. BMWs, they don't necessarily have the best reputation in terms, they're temperamental,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But like, I guess specifically E36, we'll keep it for now. With you getting into whether it was a 328i or maybe an M3 in 2026.
I've had one of each. I had a 325, a 328, and an M3. The M3 obviously drove the best.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth the extra money? No. I bought one that a tree fell on it. and we turned it into a death cart.
Ooh.
So automatically, it had the big motor. It was light. It drove great. But me personally, I'd pick the 325. I'd pick an early gen non-Vanos M50. Pull that trans. It's going to be a Getrag or whatever.
Sure.
Put the ZF in from a 328 or an M3, and you're just good to go. Turbo it, make 400, all the right noises for cheap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
But I'd skip that altogether. If this goes back to the Genesis thing. In today's economy, I would pick a 340i. You get a B58, an 8 HP, certified shredder, stock, turbo inline six, sequential trans for like $17,000.
what year?
2018, 2017, roughly.
Okay.
Like walk into any dealership with mid-ass credit, put $3,000 down. You're driving home a turbo six for what, $400 a month?
Paying insurance monthly too, but
Well, I mean, yeah, granted, but
at least in Michigan, it's like required. If you have a loan, you gotta.
yeah, I feel like that's pretty standard.
Yeah. So I mean, do we want to throw a tier on this, or do we want to? I mean, BMW in general. Like, do you have like a general like?
I'd put it B, I guess. Not the best, but not completely ass.
Okay. Genesis coupe.
C. I think the reliability hurts it. When I had it, the chassis drove good support, good aftermarket, good suspension, but the stock engine choices are limiting. I guess if you like the look of it enough, you'll put a 2J in it, LS in it, then you could bump it up, but I think stock for stock, C is probably appropriate.
Okay.
Borderline D, but I think a stock Genesis dukes on a stock Miata for sure in every measurable regard.
Okay.
Faster, torquier, better driving, better drifting, better platform for sure.
S13, S14.
Might be the only set that I consider S tier, but keep in mind, America never got a turbo either one of them. Only Japan got the SR versions. So if you're talking strictly US market, each one of these came with a stock KA, NA. Garbage. For stock, not good. But that's just, in my opinion, the best driving one. You could buy some clapped S13, eBay turbo, mega squirt it, and then that's how you get it to S tier.
Can you please? I'm gonna put 350 as like the outlier.
Yeah.
And would you mind throwing a tier on the 350Z?
I would say if I almost feel guilty putting 13 and 14 under S because of how much work you actually need to put into it to make it S. Yeah. 350Z then I got to give A just because I guess the price is right. Bones stock, they drive pretty good. Lot of aftermarket support, but like I said, every single person I know, every single one that has a 350Z at some point has a weird wiring issue, a weird misfire. You throw a rod out the side of the block. Like, they are temperamental. Like, if you get yours and it's super good, it will stay super good until the day it's not. Then it will be temperamental for the rest of its existence.
Okay.
But A, because of all that. It drives good parts, good everything. You can stance it out, make it look cool.
And since we're on the subject, do 70s eliminate some of that issue? I know Rudnick had a 370 that he was drifting for a minute. Do you?
He said it sucked.
Okay.
He said that it was the most temperamental car he's ever owned.
Okay.
Because of he had nothing but wiring issues, bunch of weird sensor problems. He never got it to run right ever. After it went bad that one time, it never ran right ever again.
Okay.
That sucks.
Sure.
So 370, I mean, if yours is mint, it's probably A. Like, they do drive good. If your 350 or 370 is in good shape, they're pretty good.
Okay.
I personally drove one and in 3 laps threw a rod out the side of the block and caught the chassis on fire. Yeah.
Was it someone else's?
Yes. And I watched Mark Hedges do the same thing. They're good when they're good, and they're nothing but a nightmare if they're not good.
Let's start with the BRZs, the FRSs, the 86s. What would you give a tier for those?
just because of availability. If you're trying to get into the scene and you have decent credit, they're super easy to get. Whereas it's probably a lot harder to get a loan on a S13 than it is to get anything going on a BRZ. But the stock engine's limiting. If you turbo it, you're probably going to throw a rod out the block. I'm going to have to put a BRZ in B tier for sure, because you can make them look sick, but you're going to have to Jimmy Oaks it and K swap it, and then now your $10,000 car you put 40 grand into.
Okay.
So
the GS 300.
D tier. They're stock. They're terrible. They're absolutely junk as a stock vehicle.
And here you are ripping a. You've
done $20,000 later. Yeah,
you've done a lot.
Yeah, it's manual now. It's about to be turbo, 600 horse, hopefully. Haltech ECU, like that. You know what I mean?
Different ball game.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even. You can't even consider that. It's not. Mine is like low key, not even a GS anymore. Like the firewall and the suspension is GS.
The hood, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
The lights.
Just the aesthetic, yeah.
Yeah.
But not stock for stock, it's trash.
Okay.
I would not recommend. The GS is really good where it shines for VIP build. Big wheels, crazy camber, super baller interior. That's it.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't, if someone asked me, I want to start drifting this year and I have no car right now, this is not even a consideration. Don't even cross that line. So, unfortunately.
Well, hell, I mean, I'm here for it. WRX first, I guess, and then Forester.
I mean, for drift or for what aspect?
I guess we'll talk, branch it into like a ownership aspect.
I would give them both a D tier. If you're gonna hit me with the, but I live in it snows and I want all wheel drive, go get a RAV4.
Yeah.
A WRX, they're slow. Even, you know what I mean? They come stock turbo, manual, whatever. They're not. I see guys put 20 G's into the motor and it's caps at 400 horse or whatever. Obviously, there's like the 1320 guys that have mastered it, billet blocks. Now you're talking, you're gonna spend six figures to go to make 600 horsepower. That ain't it.
Yeah.
That ain't it.
Yeah, I mean, at least in the conversation, right? The FRS was in here. BRZ is in there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of at least still somewhat relevant. Ford Mustang.
The Mustang, I gotta go A. If that's for V6 and V8 for sure. I just think in today's economy, if you said like I'm a broke college kid, but I know I want to chase drifting, I know I want to be out there, I want seat time, this Ford Mustang's the only car I can actually recommend. There's not a single one on here that we've talked about like, oh, what about E36? No. Miata, hell no. Jenny, no. You know what I mean? If you got bread, get a S chassis, but if you're broke and you absolutely know for a fact you want to go drifting, this is the only one on the list that like makes sense for the average buyer.
It's a shame that thing had to. Did you total that car? Or did
No, I just sold it.
You just sold it.
Yeah, I got bored and I knew I was moving back to Connecticut. That's when I got that stanced out S13. I stanced it out. I got it. It was already LS swap, but then I put the kit on it, did all that.
That thing was like haggard again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, this is haggard, bro. This is haggard for sure.
And it was good.
And then I know we didn't really do a whole lot in the GM, but like, if there was something, like there's a little room at the bottom here, do you have a chassis or a car that that we haven't talked about on this list that we should?
I did. I had a CTSV and it was sick, dude. 100% cool car, but they're expensive.
I don't know, for the black, you have the black one. You just fill it out. CTSV. So those are rear wheel. Those aren't
rear
all
wheel. It was LS1 T56 rear wheel drive.
Oh, it was manual swapped.
Yeah. No, they're just stock like that.
A T56 can be automatic or manual?
No, a T56 is a manual only.
Oh, they're stock like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even realize that. But you had a CTSV. What year was it?
05. It was sick, dude. It was clean. That was the OG drift taxi when I moved back from Maine. I did all that. and I took people drifting four heads in the car.
Yeah.
And it was sick, dude. I love that thing.
I think my mom had like a 2012 CTS lease at one time, and it was the V6 motor, and they make those in a manual too.
They
so
do.
like, I've been curious. There's not a whole lot of people on YouTube drifting CTSs.
No.
But
I liked it. It was just a little. You hear LS1, T56, you're like, oh, certified ripper. It was kind of slow.
yeah,
So I guess that's a downside.
is it supercharged or is
No,
it just
NA,
natural?
LS1, NA stock. But yeah, I really enjoyed that car, but I don't think dollar to performance ratio is there. I think if you're gonna blow $12,000, $15,000 on a CTSV, you're better off buying the most clapped S chassis for $3,000 and then go put a 2J in it.
Dump
you know,
it, yeah.
Yeah, like for 15 Gs, how much damage can you do on an S chassis? Way more.
Do we want to throw a rank?
B, just because it did rip. It was a shredder, but I don't think the performance ratio is there.
There you have it. So we were gonna segue into your gaming, your streaming, your non-automotive related activities on YouTube and such.
Yeah.
You talked about the Minecraft. Were you ever like a Call of Duty guy at all, or do you?
I
like,
just am not good enough.
Okay.
Like the diamond camo memes
Yeah.
with Rudnick. Have you heard of any of those?
I mean, I know what diamond cambos are, but I don't know about any memes.
Oh,
like,
he beat dude. We were like 13 or something. He
Yeah.
got diamond camo before me, so I took pictures of his face, like from his Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Have you seen this nerd?" or something. Like I was a piece of shit for doing that, but
Warzone. I mean, did you build your own PC?
no, I just went on Marketplace and I typed in gaming PC, sort low to high.
Yeah.
And I just bought the cheapest one.
I'm so annoyed because secure boot is necessary on PCs for most. If you want to play Arc Raiders, if you want to play Call of Duty, even Battlefield requires it. And for the life of me, I did everything that I could to try and figure out how to optimize my PC and like make it run. But whenever I put secure boot on, it just shuts off the whole thing. Like the computer won't boot. So like my gaming is limited to Apex.
Oh,
right now,
man.
Apex doesn't require secure boot, and it's the only Warzone-esque, like
Yeah.
for FPS shooter type game that I can play. And it's not. I got on there, and like if you're lucky, someone has a mic, maybe, and it's just not as good of a gaming experience.
Yeah, I'm Xbox for life, dude.
So
Like,
you don't even game? Do you only play on the Xbox when you?
I haven't had an Xbox in a while because my endeavors, like GTA RP, is PC only.
Okay.
That's the only reason I bought a PC is for GTA RP. Wow. I don't play anything else on PC. Like one of my last marathons, I played Pokemon Sword on the Switch, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Do you ever go through Steam? Like I thought I saw you like, oh, what is this game? And then you like clicked on a game, and it was like. I don't know if that's like do you just ever look through Steam to see what's on there and play anything on there? If you found anything good on there that isn't
Yeah, not. It's,
CS:GO, you a CS:GO guy?
No, it's hard for me. The only games I really like are GTA, Minecraft, and Forza. Like I am really focused in on those three.
Okay.
Like even since the dawn of time as well. Like that's just been I like City Skylines, but that's solo only.
Yeah.
There's no multiplayer for that, so I don't even bother.
Yeah. And do you follow any streamers? This Burnt Peanut guy, dude. This Burnt Peanut guy, I watch him like almost every night, at least for a couple minutes, just to see what he's doing. So funny, like so entertaining. I don't know if you have a different opinion about that or not, but like I never really watched streamers until like the last year or two, and Dr. Disrespect was like one of the first guys to like really like be a pioneer, I'd say. He was like a big name. Maybe if you're a streamer, there were other guys that you watched, but like, are there any like inspirations that like kind of led you to that, or like people you watch or like take notes from?
Not really. I don't actually consume social media
Really?
for the most part. Yeah, like my extent of social media, like I'll put on a Joe Rogan podcast like while falling asleep. That's like my only uptime other than like production. Like if I'm not filming a video or doing a live stream, I'm usually just not on social media at all.
Okay.
So I don't really, I guess if you're asking like favorite streamer or whatever, probably like Kai and
Kai
Speed.
Stein?
Yeah,
Okay.
I show Speed.
Yeah. Do you? That's an interesting point because like everybody has something that they consume in one way or another, or like when you're not making content or when you're not doing car stuff or what have you, like what is Orion about? Like, are there any like? Because I think you're a really intelligent guy. Like even just here, like hearing you speak about all this stuff,
Thanks.
like I feel like you have like there's a maybe a whole side to Orion, and I feel like now I'm just I almost like I again I got disconnected from Haggard when you guys broke up, and then I found Life OD and you were streaming, and I feel like we got to know more of you. Go on that vein of who Orion is, kind of outside of the drift scene, if you don't know him or if you only know him from there, like I did, and then watched your stream and you're like, maybe we could do some 2A activities out on this little plot of land later and like shoot or whatever. I'm very into the 2A scene, obviously. And is that, and as far as your hobbies outside of the streaming and the car stuff, is there anything like what do you consume or what do you watch or what are your hobbies if you have any or are interested in something outside of that?
I mean, if I'm not streaming,
Yeah.
I'm just if I'm not with my kid or with my family, I'm just chilling, dude. Like I'll go to like Rudnick's shop and just, recline the chair and
Yeah.
just watch him, in the distance do his thing.
Yeah.
But he like chews me out all the time. He's like, "How are you just sitting there like doing absolutely nothing? You're not scrolling your phone." Like I'm just sitting out in the sun, dude. Like roll a chair into the parking lot, roll the sleeves up and just, take that vitamin D in.
Friends, like communities, I think are a huge portion. Like I was glad to hear you say like family is important to you. Like connection is, I think it's essential. It's crucial, and so like I think that that's awesome. That like you just have like your friends as like one of your main things. You're not too on social media a ton.
Well, I mean, if I'm streaming, like I'm
Yeah.
on social media,
Yeah.
like I'm physically on there.
Correct.
But like when the camera's off, like you haven't seen me touch that phone, like nothing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's I don't really use it like that.
Yeah. And health stuff too. You're big on fasting.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
You did a cool video where you were eating like a microgreens salad,
The budget detox, yeah.
budget detox. You did like a camping video where you were just like camped out somewhere and just like doing the kind of like the shadow camp thing or
Yeah,
like
stealth camping.
stealth camping
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Was there an inspiration to that? You said on another live that you did where even if you had maybe gone to college or like got a 9 to 5 and worked for some years and did whatever
Like
that
YouTube never popped is what you're saying.
if YouTube never popped, you probably would have still done some sort of a live off grid
For sure.
type thing.
That just stems from my, I don't want to say hatred, but I don't trust the government at all in
That's fair.
any regard whatsoever. I think since I was born, I've been getting lied to, and from the dawn of time, or like actually I think it was like the 20s or whatever, like the moment the Federal Reserve and the IRS got established is when everything went to complete shit.
Yeah.
And they just only have incentive to lie. They want to lie to us. They want everybody sick. They want everyone dumb.
Yes.
So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't trust a single, I don't even trust going to the store. Like when I try to grocery shop, I look for the whole food items. And what do I mean by whole food? The ingredient list is one thing, right? I want a ribeye steak. What's the ingredient? Cow. I want an onion. What's the ingredient? An onion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a little bit, and even then I think we're getting screwed on, like maybe they're using steroids on the cow, and like
Right.
even if they say they're not, they might be using a food coloring or something.
Right. And chemtrails.
Exactly.
They're still going to get some barium.
For
and
sure.
Whatever else.
Aluminum, nano aluminum, and
rained on them
yeah.
from, even if you try, and it stinks. And like, I kind of want to make this point for myself and like maybe a lot of like other people because one of my points on here is kind of like you made a point about you don't even side with an ideology of left and right or like conservative liberal. Maybe I'm mixing that part up a little bit. Like you might lean a little bit more conservative. Maybe I heard that part.
Well,
But
like ultra leftists claim that I'm right. They're like, the way you talk and act, you're ultimate right. And I'm like, no, I don't vibe with either side. You're
Right.
both bickering. Like that is the point. They want you divided.
Yeah.
If you both united, they would be fucked.
yeah.
The system would crumble if we
Yeah.
got together. So
Yeah, I hear that too about like Muslims and Christians. Like if they can keep the Muslims and the Christians against each other, then they're good, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And like for a lot of conservatives or like a lot of people, because like I would consider myself a conservative, but I occupy a very speculative space in the politics realm now because I think a lot of conservatives who voted for Trump, even leftists or liberals or Democrats, whatever you want to say, who voted for Trump in hopes that at least the Epstein files were going to get exposed. Like I think a lot of people were like, all right, you know what? Like maybe I don't agree with
drain
this guy.
the swamp or whatever.
Like,
that was
we're
his campaign,
We're going
right?
to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
We're going to do this and that. We're going to get these pedophiles exposed or whatever. And then we don't. And it's like some of us feel betrayed. Some of us maybe saw it coming. But like you really can't trust anyone in the government scene. And I've even heard this from people who were considering a route in politics, and then they talked to a politician who, maybe it was 2000 or something, and like the social media space wasn't very developed yet, and like they could say things without maybe getting that sort of fire back. But like, why do you want to be in politics? Well, I want to do some good by my community. Okay, forget about that. Your job is to the people that give you money, okay? Like you don't, like it's all about that, and then everything else is on the side.
Yeah.
Like,
If on the table at all.
and I heard that and I was just like, yeah, that sounds it sounds like about exactly what I would expect. And it's like we live in America, we have this freedom or whatever, and we enjoy it, and I like the idea of one nation under God. I'm a Christian, right? I like the idea of us coming together, if not under like the Christian God, but like this concept of like a greater good and freedom that's for everyone. But it just seems like you said there's just so much of a effort to destroy any sense of that or like any sort of unity that could exist. Like finding a way. And I know a lot of people are against Nick Fuentes, but like he's even, and I think, and this is something that I want to say too. Part of the reason that I pray and like keep myself out there, like in that way, is like there's so much nefarious activity. I think these days it's like you don't know who's who. You don't know if this person's working for the government or not, or if they're part of some secret organization or whatever. And like he said, like if there was a new standard for politics or like a party or something that people could come to under the understanding that, okay, yes, dude, like we don't want like this giant cabal or like this giant system that has been corrupt for maybe a really long time. And that's what we're pro like a new, like just, does that make sense at all? Or like,
Yeah.
And so that's why my dad, he's again worked for GM for a bunch of years. My mom, she's from Ohio. Like they met when they were in high school and stuff. And my dad's dad worked for Ford and traveled around a lot for that. And then just wound up in Ohio one time and met my mom. And, that's how I came here. And I kind of wanted to just say that as like, I'm only 30-ish subscribers into this thing, but like it sucks to sit there and like if you were to look to someone for an opinion on something and wonder if this person has my best interest in mind, or not that I'm even trying to be that, but it's just like built on like the actual truth of things. In 2026, they say truth is subjective. Again, I try to view the lens of everything that I do through God and just allow it's a Christian faith, like be the thing that I, used to, and I'm not perfect, right? Like I've sworn on this podcast and stuff like that. I'm not going to claim to be, and I didn't want this podcast to be like, this is a Christian podcast, the thing only. I want anybody who comes on here, everybody has a gift. Everybody has something that they can contribute, something that they do. I want to talk to people that I consider, you're a pioneer in your space, in my opinion, of the drift scene and stuff like that. But like we were talking about it a second ago, you have this other side. You are speculative about things. You want the best life for yourself. And so do I. I think a lot of people do. And it's just the reasons behind that, or the why behind that, I think is important. And you talked about consciousness. Mm-hmm. You talked about you have a Bible in your car you carry around. Mm-hmm. Are you a Pete Holmes guy? Do you know who Pete Holmes is? Mm-mm. Yeah, it makes sense. You don't really watch a whole lot of stuff. But Pete Holmes went on this John Goblicon's podcast. He's like this goblin guy who's a comedian. And he talked about consciousness like crazy. Like I've heard the term Christ consciousness. I don't know if you've ever heard that. Like
not familiar.
Like there's this, because there's Instagrams or pages out there where like they're trying to get people when they see events like the, do you remember the lady who claimed she saw a lizard on the plane a few years ago, like Angela White or something like that? And she was like, that guy is not fucking real. And a lot of people thought she was crazy, but then like, like whenever there's an event that happens, like a terrible event, whether it is that or I would really try to be careful a little bit. I know things are touchy right now with Minnesota and like all this other stuff. And it's like when an event happens, whether it's 9/11 or whatever, like mm-hmm. they try to say like when you see those things happening, if you have this Christ consciousness thing, that you'll be able to decipher it for what it really is, or like what the true motive or message is that is trying to be communicated. Like the world is a stage. I don't know if you ever heard that term before. Like just to get your 2 cents on like you kind of already touched on it a little bit, but like the politics, one party system, consciousness, religion sort of thing. Like, did you grow up in a certain religion or anything like that? Or like, did you, or like, how did you was there an event that happened in your life that kind of like made you start to question some of these things?
I didn't grow up religious. My dad, I guess he was Catholic. Okay. I was baptized, but I went to church maybe twice when I was young and hated it, so never went back. Mom is Buddhist, went to her temple or whatever a few times as well. Wasn't really into that. So growing up, never was truly religious myself, but I started to question everything about the system when my daddy got hurt at work. They prescribed him like Vicodin or something, right? Like he got addicted heavily to like pharmaceuticals because of the medical system. And that's when I started to question everything. I'm like, why? There is a grander reason that they would rather put you on some pill than tell you to fast or tell you to eat onions, or you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So that maybe happened probably around 16. I kind of saw his downfall due to medical reasons. And since then I don't trust us. I haven't been to the doctor since needing my physical to get into college. That was in 2014, summer of 14. So it's been 12 years. I have all my stock teeth. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. So I think there's stuff they're not telling us for sure. Yeah, like the Dr. Sabi. Like, you ever hear any of that stuff? He's like just promotes super. I mean, he died a while ago, but he's like real, like natural remedy for everything kind of guy.
Sabi, S-A-B-I-E.
I think it's just S-E-B-I.
S-E-B-I.
Yeah, and his like sons are doing like they're continuing his work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm into that. I mean, I'm into like, I'll see a Instagram or a TikTok or whatever about this natural remedy is how you cure cancer. And like, I mean, I'm not saying that it's what the cure to cancer is. I'm just saying like, well, that's amazing. Like if that worked, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't I just go crush up some berries or whatever?
Yeah,
and,
I mean, it might, you never know.
Take some sort of step towards this. I had this one customer I'll never forget when I worked at AT&T. He would come in and he had sciatica and cancer, and he would say, man, this damn sciatica. It's really the devil. The cancer, I don't even, I tell you what, if you ever get cancer, start drinking cranberry juice. And I was like, what? Like, that's it? Like, yeah, I go in there, I see my cancer doctor, and I leave because, like, I just drink cranberry juice. And I can tell you, this guy swore by cranberry juice. And I'm like, ever since I just, like, casually will drink a cranberry juice here and there. And, like, I have not looked into it at all, but, like, I was like, okay. Anytime I do, like, people are like, cranberry juice, like, what do you got, a UTI or something like that? Like, you're just drinking some cranberry juice? Like, what's your problem, dude? But no, like, I think all of that, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you at least try to see, like, what's up here? You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. I appreciate just, again, like, the speculative, like, just don't just take everything you hear at face value.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta think for yourself a little bit, you know what I mean? And ask, like, do these people have my best interest in mind? And obviously they don't. Not everybody.
Yeah, I don't think any of the government has our best interest in mind. What's your take on the alien shit?
The alien stuff, you make me think about Alex Jones when you say that, because, like, really, like, aliens, and if there's life out there, like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's, like, some little mushroom growing on Mars or something that's, like, a life form out there. Aliens, I don't necessarily, again, I think about Alex Jones talking about, like, there are these interdimensional beings that are exchanging technology with the government for human life to basically, like, it's an exchange. And, like, that's, and you talked about consciousness, and, like, there's, like, levels to the dimensions of time and reality and things like that. And I honestly don't get too caught up in that. When it starts going there, I lean back on my Christian faith a lot, and I just say, like, God, like this kind of stuff is so crazy, and, like, I don't invest a whole bunch of time in trying to understand it. I take what I hear and, again, kind of occupy that speculative space where it's like, okay, like, this may be true, this might be true. Two things can be true at the same time, even if they're contradictory somewhat. Aliens for you, I mean, Area 51, right? Like, did you moved around a lot. I kind of want to maybe talk about, like, at some point, like, you lived in Maine off grid. I thought that was cool. You had, like, a whole cabin that you rigged up solar and everything. Very cool. But, like, if there's a point you wanted to make about aliens, I want you to make it.
I mean, I've never seen an alien. I've never had an experience. I've never seen a UFO. But how come all of a sudden we're getting, like, top-level government meetings? So we're getting, like, all these the hearings with, like, Commander Fravor, David Grush. What about all these, like, top-level fighter jet pilots that had to chase UFOs? And, like, that's the kind of stuff that interests me because they have radar footage of it, FLIR camera footage of these anomalies or whatever they call them now, UAPs. So some of that is super interesting to me. Like I said, I've even experimented with psychedelics. I've never had any visions. I've never seen an alien, never seen a UFO, but that stuff's interesting that now all of a sudden they want to say, yeah, like, our best fighter jet pilots chased, like, a bunch of UFOs, like, off the coast of California, whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Flat Earth.
I mean, water's above, water's below, right? That's what they say.
A lot of dudes, I don't remember which MMA guy it was on a podcast. Maybe it was Rampage Jackson. It was like, they talk about the firmament.
Yeah.
And, like, there's water, like you said, kind of like water above and below. And, like, I haven't found, one of the funny things is, like, if you ask a pilot, is the Earth flat? I think some of them mess with you and go, because they know that it's a thing to ask pilots if the Earth is flat. And, oh yeah, dude, it's flat. Like, for sure. The ice wall, yeah. Like, that's the edge. You know, like,
yeah. That I can't think too hard about that stuff.
And that's the thing is, like, even if you knew the answer to some of this stuff, some people say that part of it's there because, like, if you knew about it, it would further prove the existence of Christ, and, like, some people don't want that. I mean, a lot of atheists agree, and I'm not trying to go here, but, like, too much anyways, but like some people they agree Jesus was a real person and he came to the earth and he actually lived a life here. Some people disagree on whether he was the son of God or not, obviously. Do you believe that Jesus actually was a person
I mean,
here on
maybe.
earth?
Yeah, he could be like, you ever hear like the Anunnaki, any
I've
of
heard
that
that
stuff?
term, yeah.
Yeah, like he could be in on all and some of that stuff. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't put too much thought into
Yeah.
down these rabbit holes or whatever you call them.
Yeah. No, yeah, I have a friend named John Chalbeck who is like the if I ever have him on here, I'm going to start the podcast with why am I doing this? Cuz he is like the guy of like you've heard of like the Tartarian culture and
Yep.
stuff like that and like these ancient civilizations who built these amazing magnificent like buildings or like these courthouses in Chicago or whatever that aren't around anymore, or like they want to destroy it and all this stuff. And I'm like, again, I don't invest too much time in it either. It's some people's gospel. It's some people's thing that they love to do, and I'm just not that invested
Yeah.
yet. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I won't. But I mean, again, for me, like whenever we start talking about this stuff or like demonic stuff, like, or did we get technology from these aliens or interdimensional beings, that I just go, dude, like, even if I knew the answer to this stuff, I mean, what would I do with it? Like, okay, the earth's flat. Like,
Still got to pay my
I
mortgage.
live
Like,
in
yeah.
Canton, Michigan. I don't, it's at the end of the day, dude, like all I can do is control like me and my circumstances to the best of my ability. I throw that a little bit of a, cause sometimes people joke in church, like, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans and then see how that works out. Cause like we sit here and we come up with these plans or like what we think is like the answer to my life or like what I think is going to get me to that level of being able to achieve a lifestyle worth living. And some people go to college, they get a degree, they get out, they get a job, they get the 9 to 5 that they need and it pays their bills. And that's great. Some people do that and they don't. Or some people try that, or I tried going into the sales job. Like I kind of walked away from college for a little bit and was like, let me just like go and start seeing it. I've been told I'm a personality. Like, let me see if I can go into sales and just work that. And at least at the 2 places that I went, what I observed is like, if you're a sales guy, like you're either at the top or the bottom, or like these people in between, I kind of considered myself. You have to ask, like, is it worth the amount of time and effort and energy that you're going to spend either getting chewed out by your management or like struggling to make $50,000 a year? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Is it to you? Maybe, or like, maybe there is a place that I would do better. You know what I mean? I think not giving up is important. I think me pursuing this while I'm pursuing my college stuff. I talked to you a little bit about that over the phone and kind of why I'm doing that and stuff. But like at the end of the day, dude, all you can do is control what you can control and like do what only you can for your situation. You know what I mean? So like you in your life, and like you went to Maine, you went to Florida, you went where all have you lived?
Obviously Connecticut, turned 18 or maybe 17, moved to Florida, moved around a couple times in Florida. Like I got a house near the compound,
Yeah.
found an opportunity to have like a big house and a shop on the other side, like Tampa side, moved there.
Yeah.
Got sick of the heat in the middle of summer, went to Seattle. And when I lived in Seattle, I had a bus. We converted a bus. Me and Chow, we made a bus into like a RV, like tiny home kind of deal, but it was a full-size bus.
Yeah.
Like 42 feet long or whatever. And within that era, we went to Phoenix, California, Vegas. Like we tried to experience all that. Never like lived in Vegas or whatever, but like went there.
Yeah.
And then went from Seattle, moved to Maine.
Yeah.
I did the cabin in the woods in Maine, also got a normal house in Maine, and then moved back to Connecticut. And that's this era right now.
And do you consider yourself a gypsy? I asked this guy I interviewed yesterday, like about sort of like his upbringing and stuff. And he's like, I'm a gypsy. I could live anywhere. I don't care. That sort of thing. Like, do you like have a strong attachment or like a sense of home here in Connecticut, or is it like you
Yeah.
could?
It's pretty strong in Connecticut, but it's because of family and friends. Like
Yeah.
everyone that I know and love is here.
Yeah.
I don't really have any other like sense of family anywhere else.
Yeah.
Everyone is here.
And since we're on the subject of family, and like we kind of talked a second ago about like, consciousness and like moments in life that for some people, when I talk to them, like when they have a kid, that was the moment that I was like, dude, like, oh my gosh, like I gotta, and like you have a daughter, she's on stream and up with you and stuff. Like it's a strong attachment for you. Like, I don't know, like having her, like, are your parents, like, are you involved? Or like, do they meet grandma and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that?
Oh yeah.
And,
Definitely. I try to keep it multi-generational. Like I joke all the time, like we're going to get like a villa like on the coast of Greece or something. That's
Yeah.
our retirement plan. Like that's like the joke, like, grandma, dad, daughter, maybe grandkid, like all in like a family compound. That's like the end goal, and that's like the dream for me. And like I would love for some of my friends to join me on that venture, but like it seems like they're not.
yeah.
That's not something of interest to most of my buddies.
Yeah.
So
You mentioned Greece. Is there like something about Greece specifically you like, or is that just
just the blue zones, like the blue zones in the world, like you know what that is? Like
No.
the blue zones are areas where like a major or like maybe not a large majority, but the most 100+ year old people,
Oh,
like the centenarians or whatever they call them, like
Sure,
these blue
sure.
zones are like naturally like energy vortexes or whatever they claim.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh.
like there's Greece is one of them, maybe one in South America, you know what I mean? There's like not that many in the world where a lot of the people are living to 100, 110, 120, and like as a 110-year-old, you're still all there.
Yeah.
You can still walk, you could take a shit, wipe your ass yourself, you know what I mean? Like you don't need to be in like a nursing home or whatever, like
Yeah.
well into your 100+s. That's a blue zone.
Do they attribute it to like socioeconomic things, or is it like they think you said energy, like I don't know if it's temperature related, or like do you think that there's something else going on
It's
there?
probably a mix of a few things, like Greece, for example, like quality of life, like great grandma, mom, son, daughter, grandkid all live together.
Yeah.
No one has a job,
Yeah.
right? They live in like a house made out of rocks or whatever.
Sure.
They are eating food that they grew out of their garden.
Yeah.
They're out in the garden in the natural sunlight.
Yeah.
They're drinking the cleanest water.
Yeah.
Eating fish without microplastics. You know what I mean? I think like so much contributes to it
Yeah.
that I just don't think in America we'll ever get.
And you're touching on something too, like 2 points. One being, I don't know how the taxes work over there, but like, and I watched somebody put a video out on this, like because even if you pay off a house, you'll still have to pay property tax on it.
Mm-hmm.
But and this is just something I saw in a short the other day, if you have a cemetery on your property, you can avoid paying property tax because it is a whatever she said. The thing is like LC whatever under tax code blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if in Greece you don't have to, like once you pay for a property it's yours, and it's like it can be yours through the generations regardless of any sort of taxes. And then the other thing is you mentioned it, like grandma, mom, and that is what my house, my grandma, my mom's mom, she lives with us. My mom, my dad, me, in America, there's like this huge push to like move out, get yourself into a bunch of debt, really. Like,
I think that was a psyop, like that started in like the 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they just wanted to sell more mortgages.
of course.
So they started pumping like you're a loser if you live with your
Yeah,
mom or whatever.
yes.
And then I think that was all a psyop
Yeah.
from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because no other country promotes that so heavily.
Yes. And that's like, to me, it's like, I've been over that for a while. Like my dad has always been like really strict on me with like money and like, what are you spending your money on? And like, people living outside their means, or like, financial guys will always tell you to live below your means and all this stuff. And here we are talking about the drifting, and like the drifting has been like that thing in this area. I've been like, oh, I just want to get into drifting so bad. And like, have enough saved to where if I wanted to do a nice little 10 grand little car, 7 grand car, like it wouldn't, like it would be an investment for sure, but like it would be something that like I could do. It'd be something that I wouldn't be just dunzo Rapunzo, as they like, I haven't said that in a long time, but like I could do it. It's just like, you got to be like 2026, man. Like you just got to think your money. You got to be straight. You said on a stream the other day, like now is not the time to be like, messing around with stuff like that. Like, get yourself the hybrid Camry and be good.
Yeah, don't flex, don't talk about it.
Yes.
Even if you're doing okay, like maybe you got, 50 G's in the bank or whatever, like, oh, I can't go out this weekend, guys. Like, can't go to the bar, can't afford it. You know what I mean? Like, play that aspect.
100%. Yeah, dude. Like that, we're on the same page with that. Cause I was like, I mean, dude, it's just, you can't afford not to be smart anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever could, if that's even a thing. I think that's really most of what I wanted to talk about. We touched on the politics, religion thing. We've definitely hit the drifting thing. Is there anything that you want to say or like a message that you want to give the viewers? We don't have to close right now if there's something else you want to, or even ask me, in terms of, really anything.
Oh, man. I'm not sure. I don't have anything just like off the dome.
Okay.
That's like a good like one-liner at the end kind of thing.
Well, do you have like any like, I guess in terms of like a closing statement where like you would like set as a message to somebody, whether it's getting into drifting as a hobby or pursuing your dreams, because you are someone who has pursued what you've wanted to do in life in many ways. You've gone all over the country. You've come back and had your friends be kind of like a huge anchor in not only your physical location, but in your content that you're putting out, in your relationships that you're keeping alive. Is there like a message there in terms of like, I feel like, connection is key. Like your people who you're linked up with, friends, people that are important in your life, you're going to have to invest in order to not only keep the relationship alive, but like, I think in here, like, I think like your soul, I don't think we were built to do this life alone.
Definitely not.
And you're going to wind up a lot happier if you have people in your life.
Yeah.
You agree?
For sure. To touch on the drifting thing again, I think a lot of people, it's like pedestalized now because so many influencers are like doing drifting and all this, and like it's a little bit over glorified if it's my honest opinion. I think that there's a lot of people that I've seen come and go, right? They get the car, they are not as good as they thought they were going to be because they're pro on the sim, but they suck in real life kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They sell the car, they wasted tens of thousands of dollars pursuing that. I think it's something like so many people want to get into drifting, but have never even been to an event, got a ride along, maybe go rent a drift car, like 50, 60 drift rentals. Mm-hmm. They're kind of over where you're at. They're in Wisconsin and you can rent one for like a couple $100, see if you even like this sport to begin with. I don't know. I just feel like it's not for everybody. And if you are living paycheck to paycheck already, if you're already struggling, you should not be trying to drift.
Yeah.
I think that that's a huge thing that is not talked about because of the over glorification. Like people are literally going bankrupt for an Instagram photo. Like, oh, like at Lock City, like what's up? You know what I mean? Like the flex is all they care about now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just
no, that's
don't do it if you can't afford it.
That's right. It's like, don't be prepared. Because just like you said, like you spend maybe the 7 to 10 grand on the car. And now you're like, I got to get this e-brake and I got to get it installed. Oh, I don't know how to do that. So I got to pay someone to do that or install this seat or like do all the upgrades. And now what was a 7 to 10 grand investment is now a 15, 20 grand investment. And you're like, bro, I was not even, and then you might even find out that it's not that what you thought it was going to be. So I like that about like trying it too. Like if you can go somewhere, rent a car, drift it, even see if it's worth your time and money and energy. because it's a lot.
It is. And I started like my first experiences were all street, like street spots, parking lots. Just I tried to be as cheap as possible from the
Yeah.
get-go, but I think that for a lot of people they should be like investing in like their retirement, dude. Like you're going to piss 20 grand into some drift car that you're going to either total, blow the motor, it's going to be a jack stand queen forever after that.
Yeah.
Like you might as well just like buy some stock instead, buy some crypto. This is not financial advice. Like put a down payment on a house in a neighborhood that's appreciating. Like I feel like there's so many better ways to blow 20 grand, but it's like I think that if we didn't have social media today, it wouldn't be what it is. I think that it would be
Yeah.
the guys in the mountains still
Yeah.
not taking pictures of it.
Yeah.
Is all that'd be the only people really doing it if it wasn't so over glorified, I think,
Yeah.
is the issue.
Yeah. Well, I didn't exactly ask you it at the beginning, but was there like something as a kid like you witnessed or like saw? Were you always into cars, or like what got you into drifting / cars in general?
I guess as a kid, like Need for Speed, I was there for Hot Pursuit 2. That was probably my first one. I think
Yeah.
that was what, late 90s or something.
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious 1 was a huge thing.
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift, obviously. And then I don't know what it is about the BMX kid transitioning into JDM drifting,
Yeah.
but that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I think maybe when I was 12, 13, I knew for a fact that's what I wanted. I was like, the JDM stuff is sick. Maybe Tokyo Drift, honestly, was a huge part in that. Like the Need for Speed Underground 1, Underground 2, that played a huge role in some of that. So I don't remember an exact moment where it all switched, but yeah.
Did you play sports as a kid? Like, did you grow up athletic or like have like a scene or like a group of friends that you stuck to, like the skaters? You've said you're a degenerate at heart. Like, I kind of like when I was in high school, I was always involved in sports. I played baseball for way longer than I should have. I wound up a very mediocre whatever. They say to you, like, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. But they don't really tell you, like, yo, if you don't have the talent, kid, to, like, go pro by the time you're, I don't know, let's just say 20, 22, something like that. Like, you should maybe think about, same thing with church. Like, maybe you should go invest in something else. Like, I found soccer in 2019, and I'm not only better at it, but, like, I wish I would have did that. Instead, maybe I'd have had a scholarship or something if I'd, you know what I mean? Like, just, like, went that other route. But I hung out with friends. I had friends who were the skaters into graffiti, or like, I had friends who were athletes. I had a very different mix. And growing up, I was like around a lot of the class clown, like funny guys in the class. Like, did you have a group that you always stuck to, or like, did you mix your friend groups around a lot, or?
Not really. I think in 6th grade, I played soccer, hated it. In 9th grade, I played volleyball, hated it. But since 8th grade or whatever, like the summer of like 5th into 6th grade, like you go from elementary school to middle school. And that summer I moved.
Yeah.
And I met Rudnick, I met Grillo, I met all these guys at the same time that are still my best friends to this day. And I mean, we all were doing the same thing, really. Like as young kids, we were into bikes, and then we all got into cars. Or first it went BMX, mopeds. We went through a huge moped phase.
Yeah.
And then that spiraled into cars.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. I think we've covered a lot here.
Yeah.
In life in general, car scene, not financial advice.
Yeah.
I don't always close every podcast with a prayer, but I'm just feeling kind of like I want to. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to say one more prayer and then close this out. Dear God, I thank you for this day. I thank you for friendship and opportunity and community and hobbies. I think you gift us these things, or you make us a certain way for a reason. And I think that this time with Orion has been a huge, just awesome feeling for me to be able to unite with someone that is doing something that I really like and doing drifting, and it's cool, and we've talked about it, and it's obviously an investment and all this stuff, God, and I just appreciate all of it. I appreciate the entire, just me being able to even afford coming out here to do this, to invest in that, invest in this podcast, in this future. Got it to anybody watching this podcast, to everyone in Orion's following, everyone in mine, just everybody in general, God. I just pray for them. I pray for where they're at in life. I pray for their financial investments, the things they're doing. And just in general, God, I don't have any other words to say, but thank you for this time, for this day we've been given to do this. And I thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more. Follow Life OD. He's on Instagram. He's on YouTube. He's on all of them. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.